Morning all. So I'm playing a WGM now. I'm a bit more awake than earlier though, but my ratings plummeted below 2100, which I think was bound to happen on this auto pairing. So I'm playing the Albin counter Gambit here, and I want to play it with a quick F6 to try and get some more play, on the semi-open F file, and try and keep a pawn wedge on D4. So that's my plan with this Gambit. I played it in the Barnet Congress actually recently against Eames, but lost horribly. But in that game, potentially, I had reasonable counterplay. So F6 here might give black an interesting game. So we'll see if this how this pans out now. So basically, white has got a good grip on the light squares though, but maybe bishop G4 here is important. So maybe if I can play A5 and A4, ideally, to dislodge that knight as well. Knight E5 is also tempting. If bishop E2, then D3 maybe. Knight takes E5, D takes E. I'm not sure. Maybe A5 is safer to play A5 here. Seems like I want to try and exploit that knight on B3 if it can be pushed back. But now knight takes D4 is threatened. So I'm not sure actually. H6, I think, because if bishop F6 will be protecting D4. So I've got a problem with the D4 square. I wonder if queen B6 is possible after bishop H4, because then knight takes D4, rook AD8, or no, knight F takes D4, and my bishop will be attacked. So I'm not really kind of sure here. So how do I protect that D4 pawn? It's tricky. Maybe I'm forced to play bishop takes F3. It's not really a pleasant choice here. A4, knight B takes D4, knight takes, bishop takes, knight takes. Is there anything better? Queen B6 actually, to try and at least get rook AD8 maybe. So maybe that's one of the better alternatives. I'm not convinced anymore by my position. I think I've misplayed it somehow. This Gambit should have been a little more pleasant than that for the pawn. Okay, so knight takes D4. What about just bishop takes E4? Now A4, maybe. Or maybe rook AD8 first. I'm not sure. A4, at least it tries to regain a pawn immediately, if possible, with queen takes B2. Or if knight BD4, maybe rook AD8 actually. Okay, now here, what about queen B4? So if A3 then queen B3, or if knight BD4 then rook AD8, but then knight C6 attacking my queen, BC. But actually I'm attacking the bishop as well in this position. So this is interesting. Rook AD8 allowing knight takes C6, B6, because the queen as well as the bishop would be attacked. So maybe I'm resting some initiative here. So rook AD8. So queen's attacked, but now the bishop's attacked. So I'm hoping my opponent has missed this idea that queen takes H4 is on. I think so. That's good news. So I've got some more compensation now for the Gambit. So here, knight G4, H3, knight F2, rook F2. I'm not really sure about that. What about just rook D5? Rook D5 seems good to play. Bishop takes C5. That seems kind of dangerous. And then knight G4 would be really dangerous because all these pieces will be on the F2 pawn. So I think that would be quite tasty. In fact, I missed that. Knight G4, H3. I've got knight takes F2 there. So queen H3, knight F4 though. So I think the queen has to avoid going to H3 here. But I'm threatening rook takes C5 now. Maybe rook takes C5. Unless there's anything better. rook takes c5, or maybe rook f5, but then maybe h3, I don't know. Rook f5 seems aggressive as well, but then maybe knight e6, or just rook d4. I think both rook f5 and rook d4 seem promising. Rook f4, h3, queen g5, knight e6, false, queen and rook though. So maybe just actually rook g5. So I'm still eyeing the e6 square. So the queen's eyeing the e6 square. Threatening queen takes f4. Well, I was, but maybe now knight d5 is a good move, because now there's a pin on that knight against the queen. So I'm using this fifth row quite energetically in this game, more than I would have expected to. So I'm now threatening rook takes f4 as well as queen takes f4, and the knight can't take. Now here I have actually got bishop takes c5 check, which is interesting, or maybe just queen takes f4, just winning another piece because of this pin on the g3 pawn. So I'm just 2 pieces up now. So this could be the first WGM victory, but let's see. So now, okay, I'm just 2 pieces up. Can I really blow this position? Or am I going to threaten, I'm threatening bishop takes c5 now. I mean, it's quite unpleasant for white to defend this. So if I can play bishop takes c5, I think I can get away with it here. And then rook d5. So do I need to defend that bishop though? Here, or just knight d7. So I'm keeping that b pawn locked in on b2. Let's try and just play this a bit slowly. No need to rush. Maybe bringing king. Okay, there's some energy to white's play actually. Maybe white's going to win. What about knight b6 though? I think I'll take that, yeah. So here I'm not really sure what my opponent's threatening. I don't think there's any real threats to be concerned about. If I can get a rook to the 7th, then I think that's real trouble for my opponents. So rook c2 though, maybe rook d3, try and get pressure like that. But here, now I'm threatening rook h2 mate. This looks really dire. In fact, I think bishop g1 here is a great decoy move. But then rook takes d7. I'm still a rook up. Rook d7, rook d7, rook g1, rook d2. And I just have to create a zugzwang, which I think would happen quite quickly. Just maybe g6, g4. White's going to run out of moves pretty soon, I think, to try and stop this this mating net. So if I just king here, unless the king's coming out now, but only 14 seconds. So can I just take on g4? It's the rook up, really. I'll just try and get the rooks. Okay, this is the first WGM victory. So Albin counter Gambit and keeping a wedge on d4. Now maybe this is not great, this position, I'm not sure, because knight b3, it seems to be a very good plan to undermine d4 straight away. So bishop g4, bishop g5, maybe bishop e2, I don't know. I'm going to have to check this, I think, with Ribka, this opening sequence, as well as an opening explorer. I'm not really sure against this particular system. if f6 is actually playable against bishop d3. May not be, in theory, because yeah, d4 seemed to be a real trouble spot. But on the other hand, it did get some. I got some counterplay here in the centre. If bishop f6, I mean, I'll be controlling the central squares. So white just lost a piece there because of this queen b4. Underestimating it. And now this was again losing another piece. So 2 pieces up, and it wasn't even I managed to sort of not cock it up completely. So still 2 pieces up, and just a rook up here basically. I hope you enjoyed that one. Please leave any comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.